I'm a little casual today. I'm doing carpentry work today, and good, but that's how we do it. I'm a little 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm John Miglosh. For the WDMA, we fight for direct marketing every day. So let's get over to the news. Let's see what's going on here. Okay, we've got a cute commercial for JustEat, which is a British food delivery service, and we got Katy Perry singing, and so I'll let it go. I'm going to pause it though when we get to the good part. Okay, I got to turn her down just a little bit. Here we go. Want my curry in a hurry, extra sauce on the low, and I want açaí, yeah, when I'm ordering delivery. A little sushi while I watch a movie, papaya salad while I sing a ballad. Need some ice cream, make it a swirl. Gotta treat this California girl. When you're running through, there's only one place to go. 'Cause I get what I want when I want it. Margarita with extra. Okay, gotta stop there. Because, we used to talk about the Wisconsin DMA, but the style consultant says I'm supposed to say just WDMA. But look at this. Look at this. A cheesehead hat in a California Girl UK commercial. How cool is that? Wisconsin has arrived. It's the big time. We have our own cheesehead in the UK commercial. Actually, the cheesehead hat was the very first item I bought on the internet. I called a guy in Michigan. I searched on cheesehead hat, and he didn't even have a computer. He just took my credit card over the phone and shipped it to my mom in Florida because there was I think it was for the Super Bowl, the last one we won, which was in the 90s, I think. Anyway, whatever it was, I ordered her a cheesehead hat, which she cherished, and there it is on the Katy Perry commercial. Here we go. Finish it out. She even points to it. Did somebody say just eat? Did you hear that? Okay, so anyway, that's a little bit of fun. Let's get over to the rest of the story. Todd Wasserman, who has not responded to my invitation to connect, so we'll call out Todd. Todd has an article, a little short article about it. She sings in auto-tuned fashion about catching a little sushi while she watches a movie, and she's decked out in colorful outfits, including one that seems to be made of cheese with a cheese hat. I don't think Todd knows what the significance of that is, but anyway, I just thought I'd let you know that I loved it. I gotta say, but Just Eat is a catchy tune, and so here's the hustle, and they're going to tell us if ads are inevitable, what makes them good. Okay, people like relatable, informative ads. They don't like celebrities or earworms. Why is that funny to me? Because Just Eat, that commercial, which I think is just ducky, goes completely opposite of this, right? And we don't know how effective the Just Eat commercial is, but Netflix is launching an ad-supported tier this year in wake of its 200,000 subscriber loss. Yeah, well, maybe it'll lose more, for heaven's sakes. Well, this article is by Selena Lee and Juliet Bennett Raya. Okay, I got to make sure I called them out for this. Anyway, 69% of have a ban. On the flip side, unsupervised, an AI platform found that 69% of consumers have abandoned a platform after irritating ads. So ads are not just positive. This is an important principle. I remember for my entire childhood, old style beer
I think it was Old Style beer, was made in God's country out in La Crosse. And they got bought by somebody, and all of a sudden they changed it to girls in bikinis and playing beach volleyball. And I always liked God's country, so I drank Old Style. And all of a sudden they abandoned me. I abandoned them, and the rest is history. So, predictably, ads deemed bad feature unrealistic characters like Katy Perry, celebrities like Katy Perry, and earworm jingles. Just eat, just eat. If an ad can't be relatable, perhaps it could be so bizarre that it launches an ice cream company. Yeah, well, we're right in that, we're in that mode. Okay, now this is more important. World Bee Day is today, World Bee Day. And so learn how you can help the bees. Let's see if there's any ways you can help the bees. You can send a World Bee Day card, Save the Bees, and you can improve your knowledge. A lot of wildflower losses, although we're making some progress, I think, in the U.S. You can put that on your Facebook page. Plant wildflowers, it's funny though, some of the wildflowers in your big box stores have been genetically engineered to include pesticides. So you might want to ask that or buy it from a real nursery. Keep part or all of your garden untidy. I have 5 acres of untidy to make more room for wildlife. Adopt a beehive. Now, I wanted to go over to adopt the beehive thing. Here's a program in the UK where you can, basically what you're doing though is you're paying somebody to have a beehive for you, because a beehive takes tons of work. You're supposed to inspect it every week or two. As it grows, you're supposed to pack more boxes that weigh 50 to 80 pounds. Some of you have noticed that I've been sort of quietly launching a beehive company called ez-bees.com. There's just a hyphen in there, ez-bees. And you can find that on the internet if you want to help support us. Go over there. But we're actually building a small, more bee-friendly beehive than this that's designed, it might produce some honey, but it's mostly designed just as bee habitat for the wild bees. I thought I'd throw that in because today is World Bee Day, and I wouldn't call myself an expert, but I know more than I used to, and that's always good. Okay, this was an excellent article, I thought, by David Zumaya, and it was in Motley Fool, which is a kind of a financial thing. I don't know, just stumbled upon it as I search the world for information for you all. And 6 effective restaurant marketing strategies, okay? And it says there are plenty of reasons to be optimistic, even though most restaurants fail within the first 5 years. For the majority of the past decade and a half, National Restaurant Association Performance Index has been above 100, suggesting a fairly consistent growth in the market. I don't know how they came through the pandemic, but if you showed up, people were looking for you. That much I will have to say. And here are our top 6 restaurant marketing strategies. It's not at the top of the list, but use direct mail is in the list, which I was kind of shocked about, maybe even stunned. And I'm really happy to see that, okay? What to consider: geographical and time-based constraints that other businesses don't have to worry about, okay? So a restaurant promotion makes a mix of local marketing, small business marketing, and digital marketing you won't find in many other businesses, okay? Your serviceable market is limited. So most restaurants market to their small town. The very first advertising sale I made was in 1974. I started working for my dad. I sold a restaurant advertising program for them to put in their local paper. So you go down to the newspaper and say you've got a lot of overhead, got to pay for the lights, got to pay for the staff, got to have the food on hand. So how do you invite people to your restaurant? Well, you go down to the local newspaper, and they open a big book of ads, and there they've got a chef with a high hat, a waitress with a tray, and steaks, chops, and lobster on a plate. I still remember the pitch they made me memorize. And sure enough, in Dousman, Wisconsin, I sold my first restaurant ad series. We had a comical cartoon about a husband and wife. The wife always wanted to go out to eat, and the husband, sometimes would take her. It was silly cartoons, but it stood out in the paper. Anyway, and so the vast majority of your business will be local, which is a little harder to do these days, right? But if anybody out there has a restaurant and would like to see my restaurant cartoon series, we still have it behind me in the cabinet. Okay, so your target audience is geographically constrained, okay? Your customer base will be further determined by the type of restaurant you run. The target customer for a quick service restaurant is significantly different than a fine dining establishment. Now, I would say the audience might be similar. I go to fine dining now and then. I've been to the Gray Cliffs in the Bahamas, one of my all-time favorite restaurants in the world. And I've been to a few other significant Michelin-type restaurants. But Gray Cliffs I enjoyed the most, I think. I've been to the several of the great restaurants in New Orleans that I really liked. Anyway, I like restaurants. The Shadows in San Francisco, if you remember that one. Anyway, but I also eat a lot of Chinese and stuff around town. So your audience may not be different, but your pitch will be different. Okay, timing, you want to keep an eye on that. And anyway, so a website, social media, and that has an advantage of being timely. You can put up an ad right away if you're slow tonight. Leverage user-generated content. I have a friend who I'm going to go visit who has a new restaurant, and I'm going to see what their marketing efforts are like. Focus your efforts. It's better to have 100 local connections on a platform your customers frequent than 10,000 connections that will never walk through your doors or order a delivery. Okay? Pick a few social media platforms, make local connections, and grow from there. That is just, if you're a small independent restaurant, that's killer, right? Stay active. Reply to comments, respond to posts. You're tagged in, stay engaged. That may be more important than your website. It's hard to say. Maintain a positive profile on restaurant review platforms. I used to be the top reviewer in Heartland, Wisconsin on TripAdvisor. And I don't remember. They wouldn't post certain locations that were real restaurants, like Hemingway's in East Mujeres, which is another one of my favorite restaurants. Hemingway's is a dump. It's like there were no gringos in there, but they brought us beer and they brought us, snacks, and the whole thing was about $5 for two of us, and it was incredibly good. And it's not on the main tourist row of Isla Mujeres. But they wouldn't post it because they said it didn't exist. And I went to another restaurant that I really liked in Seattle. But it was sort of like a food truck that had gotten anchored to the ground. And excellent. And they would not believe that it was real, and they wouldn't post it. So I made up a restaurant and posted that. And if you've ever seen my show on the Shed at Dulwich, or Dulwich, maybe it is. Oh my! It got to be the #1 restaurant in London on TripAdvisor, and it was totally fake. And it is a hilarious story of the internet. But get out there, do some engagement, build an email list. Have a drawing for a buy one get one or something like that in a fishbowl. If people have email. If they have business cards, or especially for the lunch crowd, or have a little form to fill out where you can put your email on there. Provide and at least get the first name, first name and email. Provide incentives to join your email list, like a drawing. Use direct mail. This is why I got the article. It not only has usage, but it has tips. How cool is that? Direct mail can be more effective than digital in most cases. There are clear geographic benefits. You can segment. You can do a lot of stuff. Okay, there's a lot of stuff here. So anyway, that's available. Will be available in a few minutes over on wdma.org. So I encourage you to subscribe to the members only, get in the members only area. It's free, and let us know what you think of the whole thing. Content marketing, of course, you can give your own reviews. You can talk about your new dishes and your new menu and all kinds of stuff like that. So start small and measure success. That's the key to direct marketing. And if you can, test. Have a great day. Like and share. Your friends will know you're smart.